Aries. Hi, Aries. This is your Gemini season, June 2024 reading. As always, more information to work with me is below, as well as the extended version to this specific reading, which will be in the first link below, but give it about 24 to 48 hours before that happens. I'm just going to let you know before I get up, because I'm just going to pull a few cards before I get up, that the King of Pentacles has, in reversed, has popped out. That's how it fell, so that's how we're going to see it. Mars moving into Taurus, finally coming out of your sign. It may feel like you hit a wall. You may feel like things have slowed down, like, whoa, boom. Mars went into Taurus just a few days ago. So I'm glad I didn't do this until now. I waited for the Mars ruling signs for some reason, and I guess we're gonna find out why. But yeah, so far, that's where you've hit a wall. And it could be that you need rest. For some of you, you may have gotten sick. Maybe you're doing too much, pushing yourself a little too much. For some of you, Aries risings, Mars moved into Taurus in your 12th house. So now the wall could be, for some of you, it could be this power dynamic between your conscious and subconscious, and this understanding, we'll get more into that into the second part, but this understanding of where and how you move through situations that require a little bit more attention, right? So you may be the kind of Aries that is just like, face it, let's deal with it and move on. Or you may wait until it's the right time for you to do it head on. You want to be in control of it. You want to do this, you want to do that. But we have your fellow cardinal. Oh, I had something on this card. Oh, sorry about that. Your fellow cardinal sign, cardinal water, because we are entering Cancer season, where this is about your relationship with your purpose, right? So going into subconscious, it's going to clear up some things. Wherever you're feeling confusion, you're kind of just flowing through, perhaps at this time, or you're clearing up a lot that you couldn't see the past few months. You've just been kind of moving forward, moving through it, going with the motions. And now there's a situation that requires more care, more handle, because it's going to allow you to see where you've put in some effort into things that right now don't make sense. And you'll see, like, and get clear on like what the direction is, where you're going, what's needed. It also is about how it affects you maybe monetarily. But I'd say for up until now, you've needed to take a rest and see this from maybe a different perspective. This is how you want to handle things moving forward, right? Is this how you choose to do this? Power dynamics will be very much revealed through this time, through your shift. You'll see very clearly. And this isn't just about like outward facing people, situations, workers, co-workers, whatever it is. It isn't just that. This shit has saved my lips. They're not nearly as dry as they used to be. It's hemp, heavenly hemp. I just found it recently, and you get little flowers in it. It's so fucking cute. If those of you want a lip gloss and a fucking chapstick, it's amazing. For maybe all of the stuff you've been doing, maybe you feel a little bit dry. I don't know. I haven't said that to another sign. So yeah, so 7 of Cups to 6 of Pentacles. You may realize where you've been putting in more effort, where you've been receiving not so much, where the power dynamic is, especially in terms of value, relationships, value in your money, the energy you've been putting in as opposed to what you've been giving, and in terms of generosity also may show up at your door. For a lot of you, this is causing a significant change to occur in your life in terms of how you are choosing to communicate, how you're choosing to communicate your actions. Because for this shift has caused you to become a little bit more sensitive. Not that you're not, but you're becoming more sensitive to your body at this time, and there's only so much you can stomach. So if you need some sensitivity at this time, it's important how you approach it. You need to be clear. The Tower moment is coming out a lot in the readings as well. We have a lot of cards that just came out. So whatever your foundation has been, whatever perspective you've had or been given about your situation, a lot of cards. One more. Can we fit them all? Yes, we can. Okay. So the biggest part of this is how you're deciding, right? So we all have a choice on how we view things. Let's backtrack. What comes up first is the choice is what you haven't been given a choice of. It's been the programming. Whatever fears arise, wherever you feel stuck behind a wall to an extent. We're gonna get this fixed. And then how that affects you emotionally, how that affects your money, what that looks like, what you're trying to build, what you're setting forth on, what you're really sure of, the boundaries that you need are becoming very clear, because there are things that are happening during this sensitivity that you're realizing. There's frustration maybe for no reason, but is it for no reason, Aries? Is this something that maybe you just didn't see, didn't want to see, or used to carrying? Whatever it is, hitting this wall of Mars and Taurus, or hitting this, even if it's not that, even you just really coming to a halt and needing to stop, because this situation is requiring a lot more energy and attention, especially if it has to do with your mother as well. This is about emotional freedom, about releasing whatever has been. Two Sagittarius cards too, so we'll get into that as well. Fire sign cards. Excuse me. Whatever has been coming to the surface for a while, now you're able to get a clear view. You might even be able to take a bird's eye perspective this month that you've maybe needed. You're like, what is this Tower moment? This Tower moment is pushing you to accelerate what it is you see for yourself, what it is you want for yourself, what's sustainable too. Like, what's sustainable with the growth that you're looking for, the kind of life that you're wanting to lead. Because at the end of the month, this change from going into Cancer season is when you'll have to utilize the reason why your emotions are becoming clear at this time, and you're being given the opportunity to take initiative in these specific ways, is because it's giving you insight into Cancer season, what needs to maybe be processed or thought through, or needs your attention, right? Gemini season, it could be very easy to get swept up in that Seven of Cups and hanging out or doing things that you normally wouldn't do with, and it's just costing you, whether it's time, money, energy. And so this alchemization, this process of whatever you're changing through your mind and with the tools, the mind, your body, your spirit, your energy, with the tools that you already have, it's becoming very clear that it's coming from a content place, very Libra Aries axis. This is just coming from what you're receiving. The more that you do what you need to do, the more that you move forward in a way that is, or you're seeing the way forward. This is just really the most general reading. Seeing the way forward in your own life, where you can feel through and start to feel through that process of detachment, not just go through it. You're feeling through it. This is very much the axis and what's happening with us. As a Libra sun, you are feeling through the detachment. You're not just cutting off and letting go, or else the Fool would be out here, right? Or else the Emperor would be out here. You would be out here. This is a part of the air sign process. You're getting in touch with what is important mentally for what you're moving forward next month, because next month could be just a loose cannon. If not, with this, it could be a lot of fun. You could be creating a lot and connecting with people, and this is just a chance for you to get very clear with what are your boundaries, what are your tools, what do you want to use, what's on your table, what do you have to lose. Now, we ask that question, every now and again. I ask you that question. I feel, what do you have to lose, what do you have to gain? Something becomes very clear where you realize you don't even want to be attached to what you've even put energy into. You appreciate it, but something is shifting. This is a very physical reading, but with the Temperance here, the Chariot, the Temperance, and Magician all coming out through this, it shows me that there's a greater purpose that you're connecting to emotionally, and you may not realize consciously what you're doing, but something is being shifted, friction is being had, and you'll make very clear decisions moving forward. And it may become easier and easier as of what you hear. It's like a reinforcement that you're doing, the validation. I would think of it more as a reinforcement and motivation, because we want to use action words, that is pushing you through, that is helping you cut ties with anything that wants to keep you where you are, because you're wanting to not. There's something else you want to do. The accomplishment and the way you think of accomplishment is shifting with the more that you get in touch with purpose or a greater center for yourself. And what you discover through this change is that, one, these eclipses really worked on you, and two, you feel stronger and more capable than ever as you go through this next chapter, because the sword is the Queen of Swords, the Nine of Cups to the Ace of Swords is like, this isn't just you gaining and feeling control of your mind and your power and your energy. This is you doing that, but also being in touch with your intuition, with your emotions. It's all making sense. And recently, I really love this. I learned, because I'm always going through a transformation, and when I saw death come out, I was like, oh, we have to talk about this. Meow, sorry. Again, come on. Please. Okay. Is that as you reflect and want to become a better person, and you are able to then move forward differently and continue the process and all of that, it's actually small rebirths throughout your life. And Aries, how many times have you rebirthed? But this is different. This is a different shift that you have been maybe waiting for. You may see it more so as we get to that full moon in Capricorn. But for a lot of you, this is revealing to you how powerful it is when you are able to see yourself and all that you are, the greatness, the negatives, the positives, and you're able to then connect deeply with what you're moving through in a way in which that you can be so powerful, so powerfully responsible for what it is that you're feeling and going through, moving through, what's shifting within your subconscious, what's showing up, and how much you can love it at this time. And that's the real big shift. Because Aries rules the head, right? But Mars is the sex organs as well, and so is Scorpio. So this transformation may not be so comfortable because you're feeling it very deeply alone. I believe this is very much you feeling this. And hold on, Beatty. And the strength and courage that it takes to see yourself through this. I'm so sorry. I keep getting the moon shot right now. Okay. And your ability to, oh my goodness, why does this keep happening? Why? Okay. And your ability to not only hear what's being barked at the moon, being called, what you're seeing. All this hair, sorry. What you're being drawn to, because we have the Death card, which is also Pluto, making its way in the retrograde. But because we have the moon out and there's a Scorpio in it, so if there is a Scorpio in your life or even a Leo in your life, you may be very much feeling the strength of these relationships and maybe even the support through these relationships, even though it hurts and it may sting a little. You knew this was coming. That's why you need this rest. That's why you need this break. You know, you can feel it, and it's up to you whether or not you want to avoid it or address it. But the Tower moment's not letting you avoid it, really. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be felt. It needs to be heard and seen. It needs to be held. He just wants to be held. He's actually probably just hungry, honestly. And when you're ready, this spark can become very intensified. You know, it could almost become painful, but then you're able to feel and heal and see what's coming up. Especially if, you know, your feet are hurting or something is being felt through the body and to the heart. It could be that you really need to rest yourself in order to feel restored and loved and cared for. It starts with yourself always, and you know that, but maybe you've been giving a lot of yourself, and now this is time to reel it back in, understand where you're going, refocus, and the shift is happening regardless if you ask for it or not. It's just kind of pulling you through it, and it looks like you're going with it. There's not much resistance here. It's just the willingness to be open, to connect to this part of you. I'm so sorry, Aries. To connect to this part of you, to be it can be very simple. I think I figured it out. Okay, I think we figured it out. It may be very simple. It may come very clearly, but you know, the medicine, the detox will also happen. Nope, not the trick. Thought I found the trick. This is only happening to you too, so this is interesting this month. So don't be afraid when it gets dark. Don't be afraid when you're in that process and it feels maybe more painful. You have to realize that you're so resilient, trusting it, having compassion for your body, doing those simple things that your body may need for you to do for your nervous system this month, because you don't want to get ahead of yourself. You know, you want to have a clear hand in this power dynamic that I'm having with the light right now. And knowing that you're also capable. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Finally. I'm so sorry. It took like a whole minute. But we're at the end of the reading anyway. Just see yourself through this time and have compassion, and notice like how as you move through, the way you feel and what needs to be heard and what's being as opposed to what's being cared for. And realizing that sometimes it's not about the external action that you take, it's about the internal awareness and acknowledgement, and that's the action internally, right? Then things start to shift and move on the outside. But this is very much a more than personal process, more than clear process. And also another big part of it too is because you're going to have to say some things, and at the beginning of the month you didn't realize it, but towards the end of the month you're going to have to say some things you didn't think you had to say. And that's going to help change, and that may be where the discomfort is coming through, because you just never maybe thought you had to do that. And then for others of you, as you're moving forward, you may notice an opening in your body wherever it's been tight. It's because you've been holding on to some stuff in there. And we will take a look at more in the second part, which will be in a link below. Again, I'm sorry about the light, but that only took up a little time, and we were coming to a close anyway. All information to work with me one-on-one is there as well. Thank you for being here. I hope this finds you well, and we'll see you next month.